Everybody, including his own eunuchs, calls him weak. That's wrong. Instead of ruling like his grandfather, he carves wooden figures, brings someone food, small things, the kind of thing a weak man does, according to the people closest to him. Except this same man refused to execute someone with real power simply because he didn't have proof. He had the authority to skip that step entirely, but he didn't. And that's not the only time he does it. There is a man he could have destroyed on sight, a servant he could have thrown out for breaking every rule of the palace, and both still alive by the end of this video. Here is what he actually did with the power he had. There is a moment early in the season where the Emperor's own attendant tells him it would be easy to get rid of the Empress Dowager without real proof. Just fabricate something, he says. And the Emperor refuses. He says if he did that, he wouldn't be any different from her. That's a strange thing to hear from someone holding absolute power in this world. He doesn't need permission. He could just decide and it would happen. However, he waits instead. Later, there is a man named Bingwei, a ghost tormenting the Raven consort, someone with every reason to be destroyed outright. But the Emperor steps in just as she is about to get rid of him, wanting to hear his story first. Gao Shun learns that he is someone grieving, trying to reach the woman he loved. And instead of letting him be ended, he calms Xu Shui down past her own first instinct, so she can help Bingwei reunite with the woman he loved instead. If it was his grandfather or the Empress Dowager, the outcome would have been very different. Then there is Shu Yuyong, a low-born eunuch who worked his way into the palace specifically to stay near someone he cared about. That someone is the previous Raven consort. But because of the current one, everyone around him has watched her gain more freedom and more people close to her, and Shu Yuyong got jealous, thinking about killing her. The Emperor could have treated that as a security risk and a threat to be removed, but he doesn't. Instead, he saves the current Raven consort and then spares Shu Yuyong by letting him retire, leaving the inner palace unscathed. So those are just two examples you could point to as an argument that this emperor isn't like the others. He literally broke the cycle, the chain. And in between all of that, there are these small, almost throwaway scenes. The emperor carving little wooden figures, bringing food to someone he cares about. The show never treats these differently, visually from the scenes where he is making real political decisions. The show never says any of this outright. It uses a specific technique to tell you instead. Every single time this emperor shows restraint, the show gives you the reason first. So when you see him spare someone, you also see the backstory for why he's acting that way, which makes it feel like a reasonable decision and not a random one. So here is the actual example. There is a childhood memory that recontextualizes almost everything. As a boy, this same emperor watched his own mother mocked and eventually killed, powerless to stop any of it. He knows exactly what unchecked power does to the people underneath it, but also to the person doing it. Just look at what the Empress Dowager became. What kind of people surrounded her? Would you want to be her? Living in a lie? Surrounded by a fake friendship and fear? That deliberate choice is what makes this good storytelling. If the show just showed him being gentle over and over, without context, it would read exactly the way his eunuchs read it. A soft and naive ruler who can't do the hard thing. But does that really make the eunuch's worries nonsensical? Here is the actual answer, and it's more complicated than either side wants it to be. His own eunuchs aren't wrong to worry. They tell him more than once to stop waiting for proof. Stop visiting people who could be dangerous. Rule the way a ruler is supposed to rule. And they have a point. They're saying it because restraint in this world is a real risk. It can get people killed. It nearly does. But those same eunuchs are also the ones who end up fighting hardest for him. Specifically because they were themselves on the receiving end of that same generosity from Gao Shun. So his restraint isn't just personal conviction sitting safely apart from consequence. It's a genuinely dangerous choice that also happens to be the reason people around him are disloyal. It sort of levels out. So the show never actually settles the argument between his critics and his defenders. It just keeps showing you both sides were right at the same time. Restraint here isn't the absence of power. It might be the only version of power that doesn't turn him into exactly what he watched destroy his mother. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.